here we are today. What do you do with your portfolio despite tariffs, despite the Fed, despite everything that's going on? You get invested now at 5,200 points on the S&P. And if you can pick it up at 5,000, great. You get an A plus. If you pick it up at 4,900, A plus. But for most of us, we're not going to be able to pick the bottom exactly. Rather, what we want to do is get our money to work today right at that 5,200 point zone. And so if we eventually, or I should say when we eventually get to 7,000 points on the S&P, let's say it takes us, let's just say 3 years, just as an example. With the dividend, we are looking at 12% annualized returns the next 3 years. That is phenomenal. Why would you try and time it other than that? Why would you not get in? Why would you wait? Why would you try and figure out when the bottom is and the top and short and all this nonsense trading? And I did send out an email a couple of weeks ago where I told people, I said, we are not traders. We are not market timers at Stenger Family Office. You may be watching what we're doing at the portfolio right now and say, Nick, there hasn't been a ton of activity. I would just warn you about all these advisors out there who are doing all this activity right now that have made all these trades and all these different changes with the portfolio. And I would ask the question, why, if they had a good portfolio to begin with, a portfolio that was designed to stand up to things like this, why would they have to go and change everything now? Take it as we went into this correction already allocated pretty much where we wanted to be. And that's the goals-based plan. If you have a goals-based plan, when these things happen, yes, the reaction is to panic and want to trade and do some activity. But the real reaction should be just wait. And I know that's not easy to do. I know that's not part of our human nature. Our nature is not to want to wait and be patient and see things through. But that, I think, right now is the best answer. So get your cash to work. Get your money to work at 5,200. Get it to work at 5,300. And you will be happy because 3, 4, 5 years down the road, I think you're going to be up. But if you need to have a set of money in your plan, you're on that goals-based plan, and you're nearing retirement, you're a few years out maybe, or you're a few years into retirement, that's where we would say, get yourself on a goals-based plan. Let's just say you got $5 million, for example. I would say have $1 million set aside safe and secure in short-term 30-day U.S. Treasuries. We may change some of that eventually if we think yields look good on preferreds or high yield, for example. But for the most part, keep that money safe. On the other 80%, let's say you got the $5 million portfolio. On the other $4 million, that's where we're going to go out and grow the portfolio. Why? Because we got to beat inflation. And that will provide you with the cushion you need in the portfolio to get through these bad times.